on your back. Ah. Yeah, I'm laying down, of course. Just didn't feel like getting up. Anyway, what Russell Westbrook to the Clipper really mean? Swish out, shout out, swish out.
All right, man. So Russell Westbrook is finalizing a buyout with the Utah Jazz, and reportedly he plans on signing with the Clippers. Now, this video.
Nah, I didn't even expect Westbrook to play for the Jazz. Even the guy on ESPN said the same thing. I mean, that's the team when Russ used to go against them, they used to boo the hell out. You know, they don't like Russ, and Russ low key don't like them, so it's like it wouldn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't going to be too long. I actually have a video that I'm working on for later this week, so look out for that. But this is Russell Westbrook, so I had to drop my quick thoughts on this. Let me start with the possible positives. Now, I don't know if Russ is going to be starting. I don't know exactly how many minutes he's going to get, what is specifically Ty Lue's strategy with Russ, so I'm kind of just assuming with this video. But if anything, Russ gives this team some type of alpha leadership presence. And remember I said that because I'm actually going to come back to that with the negatives. Maybe I just have PTSD and I just can't unsee what happened in the bubble. But even when I watch the Clippers to this day, I still see flashes of that series versus Denver. Like when stuff hits the fan and that lead starts to decrease and Kawhi and PG resorts to ISO your turn, my turn basketball, and the need of a point guard becomes more glaring, and Kawhi and PG, who aren't really alpha personalities, kind of lifelessly go through the motions. I still see that. Example, a few weeks ago against Milwaukee, they're leading the majority of the game, and in the fourth quarter, they just collapse and both of their superstars fold. The next game, they play the Knicks and damn near do the exact same thing and luckily escape in overtime. Then they play Dallas without Luka Doncic and Kyrie's debut, and they do the same thing. Kawhi gives you nothing in the fourth quarter. I just feel like I see too much of that for that team, and they don't have no leader to kind of give them that spark. I'm not saying Russell Westbrook is a lifesaver, but he can give you a little bit of juice when stuff hits the fan. Kawhi is obviously a superstar talent, but it seems like in pivotal
More than a little bit of
moments,
juice.
when this game isn't on specifically a shot, the team kind of follows. Paul George, the same thing. Russ, if anything, for better or worse, he's going to be first team all energy, and I feel like they can use that. Another positive. We know how much of a disaster Russ was with the Lakers, mainly because of what they lost to bring him in, and they couldn't surround that
nice
core with the
alley.
adequate pieces. It was always a nasty fit to begin with, but you lose pieces, and it's going to be even worse. This is a much better fit. The Lakers trading for Russell Westbrook never made sense. He's a ball-dominant point guard that facilitates the offense. The Lakers already
them shots
had
is
that.
crazy,
So taking Russ
Russ. I'm
out
not
that
gonna
role
hold you,
just
gang.
exposed how limited his half-court skill set always was. But now the Clippers, a team
Russ, that's crazy, bro. Them shots is crazy, bro.
desperately needs that. They have some type of
Like,
floor
he did it
general.
so
I
much,
thought it was
you
going to
think
be
he was
John
for
Wall.
real.
We all did, but he's so bad defensively that he's quite little.
Hold on, whoa.
Now, the Clippers, a team that desperately needs that, they have some type of floor general. I thought it was going to be John Wall. We all did, but he's so bad defensively that he's quite literally unplayable for a championship team. In fact, if you want to see how bad of a signing John Wall actually was for that team and why he's probably on his way out the
good
league,
pass.
with him this season, they
I said on his way out the
that
league.
team and why he's probably on his way out the league. With him this season, they were 15-19. When he didn't play, they were 18-9. Granted, he played a lot of his games without Kawhi or PG, but look at his plus minus. They were significantly better when he wasn't on the floor. Russ, at this stage of his career, is a much better defender. They're both pretty terrible shooters, but at least Russ is a lot more explosive when driving, so he can create a bit more spacing for their shooters, I believe. I'm hoping so. And going back to the fit, at this point in Russ's career, he's best at driving to the basket and either finishing, getting fouled, which may not be the best thing because he's not the best free throw shooter anymore, but that's besides the point. Throwing that alley-oop to AD, to me, they had an underrated connection, or creating an open look for one of his shooters. Look at the Lakers' key players on catch and shoot threes. In comparisons to the Clippers, it's a night and day fit for exactly what Russ provides. So on paper, it makes a lot of sense. Now let me get to the negatives. Russ is a damn alpha. I told you he was going to hit that again, but at this point of his career, that specific trait is a double-edged sword. I stand by calling Russ one of, if not the most delusional player that I've ever seen in my personal life. So I don't think he's going to the Clippers humbled. Like, I don't think it's in Russ's DNA to see the writing on the wall that, damn, I'm on my fifth team in 5 years and I just got bought out as a former MVP. He's not built like that. Russ is a pretty proud athlete, and I believe he's going in there
So
thinking,
y'all
we
think he
just
got
formed
full
a
of
new
pride and
big three in
ego?
the West. Paul George had his best season with me. I averaged a triple-double 3 times with this guy, and we just added a 2 times finals MVP with Kawhi Leonard. Let's run this thing. Not mad at him for it. That's what made Russ Russ. But that could be a little difficult for the Clippers long-term this season. Again, Russ is a very proud athlete, and he wears.
Yeah, he gonna be starting. How do y'all feel about it? I think it's a good trade. I heard we was finna get him the Bulls. I heard we was probably gonna scoop him. Um, mm, I feel good about this trade. I think this is the one. I think it's Russ played good with PG, right? He never played with Kawhi, so we'll see how that work. But Russ gonna bring the energy for sure. He gonna play defense. He gonna do what he needs to do what y'all want him to do. Yeah, but they could win shit. It just depends on how Russ gonna play. Like, I don't want Russ to get kicked out the league. I don't want my niggas start getting um what is it? Fucking low minimal contract. That's not the type player he is. He had one too bad. Okay, like anybody can have a bad season. He sort of struggled, but y'all did see it towards the end. Before he got traded, he was doing better coming off the bench. He was doing better coming off the bench. I'm not saying on the Clippers that's what he needs to do, because he do need to start. But you get the point though.
those accomplishments on his sleeve, so he doesn't always take critical coaching the smoothest. I thought Frank Vogel last year was too nice to him, and Russ didn't quite understand that and kind of bashed him on his way out. I didn't really like that. This year, I give him credit for taking the bench in with Darvin Ham. Darvin Ham benched him, put him on the bench as a six man, and he took that willingly. But it wasn't the smoothest. Early in the season, I believe in the preseason, he tweaked his hamstring because he was coming off the bench and he said he wasn't used to not starting. Throughout the season, in the fourth quarter, when Russ wasn't in the game, he wouldn't really be on the bench. He would be on the bike warming up. I don't even know how you sub in and out quickly if Russ is on the bike. So you still kind of felt the dissatisfaction of Russ not playing when he probably felt like he should have been playing. That's all a part of the Russ package. Luckily for the Clippers, Ty Lue has coached some big egotistical athletes, mainly Kyrie and LeBron. So he's been there before, but he hasn't really had to bench them and make ego-crushing moves like he will likely have to do with Russ. I'm interested to see how that looks. Another
They
slight
said once
possible
Russ said
negative for
win,
that
lose,
team. At the
win,
end of the day,
lose
for
or
me,
draw, we
the
had
playoffs is
fun.
about
That
how
was
many
it.
stops you
They
can
said
get
they got him up
defensively
out of there.
and who has the most players that can
That's
create their own
crazy if
shot.
that's the case.
Meaning, when stuff hits the fan in the playoffs, Kawhi and PG will isolate and display their offensive bag. When that happens and when they share the court with Russ doing that, I want to see how the spacing is going to look offensively with Russ's defender not respecting him as a perimeter shooter. That can be a little interesting as well. In conclusion, Ty Lue is going to be earning his checks for these last few months. Like, Russ is probably going to play big minutes since they lost Reggie Jackson and John Wall, so they don't really have no type of point guard. So he's probably going to play big minutes. But at least the Clippers didn't really lose anything to get Russ. They're not obligated to him because they're not paying him a lot of money. And that team is loaded. So Ty Lue can be a lot more creative with his lineups than Darvin Ham or Frank Vogel could because they have a lot of depth. That's the good part. These are just my quick thoughts on this move. Let me know in the comment section how you feel about this move. I think it's a low risk, slightly possible high reward move. I don't see the Clippers doing much because if Russell Westbrook is your floor general, I just don't think you're going nowhere. I'm being honest, I just don't think you're going nowhere. But if you like the video,
I feel like they'll do something. I don't think it's the worst shit in the world. I feel like they're gonna improve. I believe in Russ still. I'm not fully out on him. I'm not out on him at all, to be honest. I still think he got it. I'm still believing in Russ. Let's go Russ.